children, once again welcome back. So in today's video we are going to learn about the air, the very important part of our life. We cannot distinguish, we cannot think, we cannot imagine our life without air. So what this air is made of? Let us have a look to this chart by which we can understand exactly how the air is composed of. What are the components of air? So as you can see in this chart, that this air is made up of not only a single gas but many gases are present in this air. Also the dust particles, some water vapors, they are also present. So maximum part, which is almost 78% of the whole air, if I talk about, then it comprises of only nitrogen gas. 78% of the air is the gas which is nitrogen, and only 21%, as you can see in the chart, only 21% is the oxygen, and the other 1% which is left here, that 1% comprises of argon, helium, neon, some dust particles, some water vapor. That is 1% of the air. So this is the composition chart of air, that what air is made of. Now this oxygen, let us see about the oxygen. One by one we will learn about few gases. Now oxygen, this is the very important gas as it supports life. Oxygen is the only gas that supports life. Without oxygen one cannot live. This is the only gas which supports combustion, we call it, or in simple words you can say burning. If you want to burn anything, if you want to lit fire, then that is only possible if oxygen is present. Okay, without this we cannot live. So very, very, very important gas, that is oxygen. Coming on to the next gas, that is nitrogen. Coming on to the next gas, that is nitrogen. Now nitrogen, children, we are not directly using the nitrogen, it is used by plants. It is used by plants. Plants make use of the nitrogen actually, okay. For the growth of a plant, nitrogen is very much important. So plants, they make use of it. And when the plants, they use nitrogen for their growth, when the animals, they consume it, they also get some part of nitrogen. And similarly, when we are consuming the plants, some very slight part gets into our body as well. So nitrogen is directly required by the plants, not for us. Next gas that comes here, there are many other gases like helium. Now as I told, this is only the 1% of it. So this helium, this is used, carbon dioxide is also present in it, okay. Don't just make this thing very sure that carbon dioxide is also present, but the percentage is very less, it's not that much. So helium gas is filled in balloons. You might have been playing with the balloons. So this is the gas which is actually filled in the balloons. Then there is gas called argon. In the 1%, argon is also present. It is used to make bulbs. Used to make bulbs. This gas is actually the part of the bulbs. That is the reason why the bulbs, they glow. Then coming on to one more gas, that is called neon. Neon gas. What is the use of neon gas then? So whatever glowing signboards you have seen, the signboards that glow at night, the gas which is present, the reason why these signboards, they are able to glow, this gas neon is present. You can see here all the uses of the gases are shown in these images. So this is actually the composition of air. Along with this, as I told you, carbon dioxide is also present in some part, and carbon dioxide is again, as I told you, is used by the plants to make their food, with the process is known as photosynthesis. And now coming on to the characteristics of air. How can we identify air, or what are the characteristics of air? Let's have a look. So, the first characteristic of air is occupies space. It occupies space. You can see in this image. With the help of this image, we can see this is a balloon which is inflated, and this is a balloon which is now in which the air is filled. So when it was without air, it was small. As it has been filled with the air, you can see it has grown up into a size. It has taken some size. So which shows that air occupies space. So this is a very simple example of this characteristic by which we can identify that air, it occupies space. Coming on to the next is has weight. Coming on to the next one, that is has weight. That means air has weight. Again, just have a look to this figure. On one side again, an empty balloon is hanged, or on the other side a filled balloon is hanged, and you can see the weighing balance is going down wherever the balloon with the air is kept. Wherever we have a balloon with the air, that side the balance is going downwards, which shows that air has weight, because the one which is empty is upwards, is not showing any weight. So this figure also clears this thing, that air has weight. And then coming on to the last characteristic of air is it exerts pressure. It means it applies pressure. So whenever the air is present, as you can see again in this example, whenever the air is present, we can experience the pressure of the air. Even if, see, if I tell you that on an empty, if the tap is not open, in the wherever you are using, if the tap is not open, you just press your thumb onto the tap, the open end, and you will feel some pressure on it. You will feel some pressure on your hand, as you can see here in the figure. So this shows that air exerts pressure. Air is applying pressure on the object. So on these all of these examples, you can find that air is exerting pressure. So the pressure which is exerted by air is known as air pressure. The pressure which is exerted by air, that is known as air pressure. And here are few of the illustrations of air pressure wherever we people are experiencing it in our day-to-day life. So just have a look. Okay, so now let's learn about the uses of air. What are the uses of air? Let us have a look to it. First use, and the most important, is breathing. So here comes the picture of breathing. Every one of us breathe. So that is the very first and the foremost use of air, that is breathing. Second is burning. As I told you, burning is not possible if air is not there, because in the air itself oxygen is present which supports burning. So burning, if we want to burn something, we need air. Then third part is it is used as material carrier also, like pollination. Then pollination. These are the most important uses of air. Flowers, they pollinate due to air itself. Then dust particles, clouds, all these are who carry all these from one place to another? Again, air. And then for drying purposes, to dry our clothes, surface, for evaporation, we need air. All these take place whenever the air is present. So here are few of the points wherever we people are using the air, and here are the images. Just have a look to it. And that's all for this video. See you in the next video, and we will learn about water. Till then, have a nice time, stay safe and enjoy learning.